Okay, so one of the most important stories in philosophy is this allegory, often referred to as the cave. And this was something that was mentioned in Plato's Republic, which is a very good book. You should check that out. Imagine this. There is a cave. This cave's got a few inhabitants, right? It's a really dark cave. These people grew up in this cave. They were born in this cave. All they know about in terms of life is this cave. And what they see on the cave wall are forms, right? They see shadows. Little to their knowing or to their understanding is that these shadows are created by other people behind them in an area where they can't access in the cave. People are creating these shadows using a fire and certain forms. So to these people that live in this cave that don't know light, all that exists are these shadows. That's all they know. Now imagine one of these guys, one of these brave guys, for some reason, decides to escape the cave. He finds a way out, maybe a ladder, and creeps out. He creeps out of the cave, passes the people that are making the forms, and goes all the way up to the top, to the surface. At the surface, he sees light for the first time ever in his life, and it's blinding, as it would be. It's blinding, and he sees trees and birds and forms and the ocean and different smells. His mind is completely blown. This guy, excited, he goes back down into the cave and tells his friends, tells these other inhabitants, like, guys, there's some crazy shit out there. I saw other things besides this bullshit that we've been seeing in this cave. And they all think it's crazy. Okay, that allegory is meant to highlight a few things, but one of the things that I really pay attention to about this story is the fact that if you don't know any better, you would assume that your beliefs or what you know about life is life. When in reality, there is a lot more depth to life than what you see. You can only see what you're able to comprehend given the tools that you have, given the upbringing that you have from your parents, your society, right? And a lot of times we don't choose these things. We don't choose where we're born. We don't choose the religions we're given. We don't choose the certain beliefs or habits that we gain. A lot of these things just come out of the mere coincidence of our birthplace. So we have to be very careful not to assume that just because we believe something or just because we see things in a certain light, that that's the reality of it. And this is why I'm so passionate about self-actualization, self-inquiry, reading, becoming a better person. It's because it forces you to change your paradigm, to see through a different lens. So I'm always telling people to read more books from different people, self-improvement books, psychology, philosophy, religious texts. Read anything you can, because the more material you absorb, the more good material you absorb, the more different choices you have. People are always talking about free will. Do we have free will? Yes and no, right? We might not have free will to completely choose what we want to do, because certain choices are determined by a range of chemical, reactions in your brain and the subconscious programming from your parents and maybe their grandparents and all these things. But we can have more choices if we expose ourselves to more material. So you might have the 5 cards in front of you if you're a normal Joe, and you can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the person that works on self-actualization, that works on improving themselves, will have 37 cards because they went out there and got a different deck. So I encourage you guys to really dive deep into this stuff. Read more books, take more courses. Don't just be a numb consumer that's sitting on the bench just accepting what's being given to them, right? This is 2018, baby, or 2019, or 2020, or 2030, or whenever you're watching this, right? Intent's a beautiful thing. You have choices. You have options. You should be so grateful because of that. Some people never have a choice. They never get the chance to get a different, perspective on life, or different instruments to see life through. But you do. But you have to make the choice, right? You might be born into a certain society that believes a set amount of beliefs, and you don't have to follow them. You can do your own investigative work. Your parents might be a particular religion. You don't have to follow that religion. You can do your own work. See what you believe in. See what says true in your heart. That's the beauty of it. So I encourage you to do that.